Now, section 4.4. Before we start the section 4.4, I would like to review some concept we learned from the previous video. So if you have a right triangle with the angle theta, now sometimes we call this is opposite side, opposite to the reference angle, and the other side we call adjacent side, and this will be the hypotenuse, or you say is the, if inside the circle, then we say it's a radius r. Now if you have a small triangle, the radius happen to be 1, then you have, we call this opposite side is sine theta, and the adjacent side we call it cosine theta. Right now, how about if our radius is r? If our radius is r, so 1 times r, sine times r, cosine times r. So this will be r cosine theta. This will be r sine theta. This will be r. The whole thing will be r. So same thing here. If you have radius r, then the opposite side will be r sine theta. Adjacent will be r cosine theta. Now, if you move this triangle to the coordinate system, okay, now you are going to deal with x and y. So x will be r cosine theta. Y will be r sine theta when the radius is r. And the same thing, if the radius happen to be 1, then this will be 1 times sine theta. This will be 1 times cosine theta. So that's a little bit relationship I want to review for you. So what's the opposite side is y, and y actually is r sine theta. When r is 1, then y equal to sine theta. Okay. So right now we want to do some practice with sine theta and y. And again, if you have r sine theta equals to y, r sine theta equals to y, divided by r, sine theta will be y over r. And then, if you make a reciprocal r over y, actually is the reciprocal of what? Y over r. And y over r is the sine theta. So the reciprocal of sine theta, we call it cosecant. Number 3, tangent. Tangent, the definition is opposite over adjacent. Okay. Opposite over adjacent. And then this is y, this is x. So tangent is y over x, then x over y will be the reciprocal of the tangent. The reciprocal of tangent, we call it cotangent. Next, we talk about reference angle. Reference angle, we use theta prime. You see a little bit something here? Okay, theta prime. What's that? Reference angle. If you have a circle, okay, we have big space here. So on a circle, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 quadrants. First, second, third, fourth quadrant. If you have an angle inside the first quadrant, you may build a triangle according to this angle. So if your angle is on the first quadrant, you use the same angle to build a triangle. So if you use theta to build a triangle, so the reference angle is theta. Now, if your angle is on the other, on the second quadrant, then start your original side always here. This is always the terminal side. So your angle theta will be here. If your angle theta here, you no longer use angle theta to build the triangle. So you use reference angle to build a triangle. Okay. So in this case, your reference angle is pi minus theta. This is pi. The whole angle, half of the circle is pi. So this is pi, and then minus pi minus this angle. So the rest will be reference angle. Then keep going, we use which color? We use purple. Now if our angle keep going to the third quadrant, so keep going, then which angle you use to build the triangle? We use only this part. Okay, so how big is this reference angle? We say theta prime. So theta prime will be the biggest angle, the purple angle. Purple angle is theta, right? Theta is very big. And then you take away pi. So the whole purple angle theta, take away pi, then you have the reference angle depth. Now, next, let me choose a color. How about black? So if I have angle go up to here, wow, then it's a very big angle. Go up to here. And which angle you use to build the triangle? Then triangle is here. Never be there, okay? You build the triangle according to the x-axis. So this will be the reference angle. So how you calculate the reference angle? When you start from 0 and keep going one circle to back to the same position, you have 2 pi. The whole circle is 2 pi. So 2 pi take away theta. 2 pi minus theta will be the reference angle, theta prime. So this is number 5. We keep going to number 6. Now number 6, if they give you a coordinate, this will be the coordinate. Okay, so okay, fine. Okay, so this information was for question 7. So right now we work on number 6. If I give you a coordinate, so I give you x and give you y. Now, if you have a right triangle, you may use Pythagorean theorem to find your radius. If this x, this y, x squared plus y squared, and then square root, you have the radius. So you follow this formula. When x is 20 squared plus y is 21 squared, then you have r. So after all the calculation, this r is 29. Once you have all the 3 sides, then sine theta you follow y over r, or you say opposite over hypotenuse. Then all those formulas, I would like you to check by yourself. We already talked about that. You should know the formula. Okay, so you finished by yourself. Number 7. Okay, number 7. Negative. When your x-coordinate is negative, then it should be on the negative side. And the y is positive, then it should be up. So, and then also you need to find out what's the radius. So follow Pythagorean theorem, and then you need to simplify to find your radius. Once you find your radius, so I don't suppose to put this number, this coordinate here, because 2 square root of 130 is not the same as 29. So I don't suppose to do that. I'll out of my mind at the time. So we just 2 different questions. How about it? There's 2 different questions. Okay? This is number 7. This is number 6. Now, once you have the radius and the opposite side and the adjacent, then just follow a formula. You can find all 6 trigonometric function value. Number 8, same idea, but the number is more complicated. So same thing, you need to calculate r with those decimal number and the square root. Not easy to calculate, but surprise is the r after you reduce, r is a pretty nice number, 8.5. Now same thing, you follow the formula. I just list here for you. Follow the formula. Or you want to say opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse. You can do however you feel comfortable. Okay. Number 9, which quadrant? This question, they don't give you exactly what's the angle, and they don't tell you any x or y. There's nothing. There's no numbers there. But the sine theta is negative. Cosine theta also negative. Now we understand that if you have angle end up with, you have sine theta here, right? This is sine theta, and this is cosine theta. Or this is y, this is x, if you multiply with r. Now, r is always positive. So, if you want to have sine theta negative and cosine theta negative, means x, y both negative, then it should be on the third quadrant. Now, number 10, secant theta is positive, means cosine theta positive, because they are just reciprocal and they should have the same sign. Now, cotangent theta, cotangent is cosine over sine, and it says is negative. We already noticed the given. We say cosine is positive. So if numerator is positive, and the whole fraction need to be negative, the whole thing need to be negative, then the only possible is sine need to be negative. Okay? If sine is negative, and also from the given, cosine need to be positive. Okay? Because they say secant is positive. So cosine, here is cosine. And here is sine. So you have a point. X is positive. Horizontal means X. And then vertical means Y. Okay. So this should be on the fourth quadrant. So this number is 5. Okay? And if you have 1 on the left hand side of 5, it means 5 minus 1 is 4. If you have a 1 on the right hand side of the 5, you have 5 plus 1 is 6. There's a little information for you. Number 11. Cosine theta 4 over 5. Now, I want to review a little bit. Cosine theta, you can say, okay, the radius, when radius is 1, adjacent will be cosine. And the opposite will be sine. It's adjacent. So this adjacent. This is opposite, right? But if you try to use fraction for the calculation, is too hard when you do dealing with the calculation. So I would like to multiply 5. So you have 4 here. Multiply 5, you have 5. So end up with, you have a triangle, right triangle 4, and the 5, remember? 3, 4, 5. Even though we don't know what's the angle here, but the 3, 4, 5 is kind of special number, right? Now, you may use unit circle, or you may just multiply 5, so your radius is 5. If your radius is 5, sine will be opposite divided by 5. So sine will be opposite divided by radius. And the tangent is sine over cosine. Sine over cosine, you can say that the sine is 3 over 5 divided by cosine 4 over 5. And If you multiply both, then you reduce. So in the end, you have what? You have 3/4. So basically, you can say tangent definition is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent is tangent. Okay. So the rest will be easy because cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, secant is the reciprocal of cosine, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So everything become easy. Number 12. This is the first time we talk about tangent value is undefined. I always said if you have undefined for the fraction, it means 0 on the denominator. And the tangent, so like a 0/1, and the remainder we say this infinity. Okay? Or you have 4, or any number. If you have 0 in the denominator, we say the value is very, very big. Now, tangent, by definition, is sine over cosine. And it means when tangent is undefined, then it means cosine is 0. Which angle may end up with cosine equal to 0? So right now, everyone, please pay attention. I'm going to show you something very interesting. So if we have any random angle here, okay, you have cosine and the sine. Now this angle, when angle bigger, cosine becomes smaller and the sine becomes bigger. Do you see that? So when angle bigger and the bigger up to almost vertical, the angle is almost 90 degrees, right? When the angle very big up to 90 degrees, the cosine value is smaller and smaller and smaller till 0. So basically, if you talk about the coordinate, the x value is 0. Y coordinate is 1 because this is y. This is x. So x, when angle is 0, the terminal side and the initial side merge together. The xy coordinate, x is 1, y will be 0 because there's no up down. So y value is 0. And then you have xy, you have all the xy. X becomes smaller and smaller and smaller to become 0. How about y? Y from 1 to become, y is 0 on the ground. Y is 0, become more and more and more, bigger and bigger till y become 1. Okay? And then I would like you to answer the question. What's the coordinate here? X value -1, y value 0. And what's the angle here? So when angle go up to 90 degrees, more than 90, more than 90, more than 90, and up to here, when angle is this big, we say the angle is pi. So when angle is pi, this is cosine pi. This is sine pi. Even though you don't see any angle, you can pretend the angle just smashed by the terminal side and the initial side. So these two merge together. You don't see any triangle built because the angle is pi. Okay. So in this case, the reference angle is 0. And we say that the whole angle is pi. This big, very big angle, pi. And the same thing we can keep going to here. Here, what's the degree here? We change color here. Okay. 90, 180, 270. 270 degree. Or you say pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. Okay. 2 pi over 2, which is pi. So when you have 3 pi over 2, the x value will be 0. Or you just take a look at the coordinate. X is 0, y is -1. And then I keep going back to the initial site and the point. X is 1 and y is 0. So I'm talking about when the radius is r, okay? Is 1. When radius is 1. If radius not 1, then we say radius, right? Radius. Okay? So go back to tangent is undefined. When we have tangent undefined, so let me erase all the marks, too many marks here. Okay. Okay. So when tangent is undefined means 0 on the denominator. It also means cosine theta equal to 0. Cosine theta equal to 0 will be here or here. You have two choices. Either 0, 1 or 0, -1. Two choices. Now pay attention here. Even though I say we have two choices, but the question also talk about the angle should between pi and 2 pi. So here, pi and 2 pi. The angle will be either pi between pi and 2 pi. So where is the angle? So where is the angle? So angle will be either this big or bigger, right? Or even bigger, maybe here. From here, keep going, more than pi. Or probably this big. Or probably keep going, this big. Okay. So our angle either here, 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 our terminal side. So the only possible angle, the only possible angle we will end up with 0, -1 will be we have an angle exactly. This is our terminal side. Okay, this is our terminal side. Let me erase all the marks so you can see better. So if we talk about this angle not between pi and 2 pi, so it's not. So this is our terminal side. Okay, this is our terminal side. Let me erase all the marks so you can see better. So if we talk about this angle, this angle not between pi and 2 pi, so it's not. So this angle, this angle not between pi and 2 pi, so it's not. we have only two choices. Either our terminal side is here or our terminal side is here. But this angle is not between pi and 2 pi. Therefore, we forget about this one. Okay, so the only angle we are talking about is this big. And then this angle should be the angle will be 3 pi over 2. This is pi over 2. This is 2 pi over 2. So this is 3 pi over 2. Or we say this is 90 degree. This is 180 degree. Another 90 degree will be 270 degree. So you can just count. So this is number 13. Okay, let me end at number 12, and then I will going to make another video pretty soon. See you next time.